Josh from Lucas Lighting. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Hella socket. This is used commonly by Volkswagen and Mercedes-Benz. This is the most difficult socket to integrate into, but we have three different options that we're going to walk you through. The very first step is to take this guy right here and spin it counterclockwise. It might make a loud popping sound, so get ready. And you can pull that old bulb right out. So now let's move forward and talk about your three different options that you have with this socket. Option 1 out of 3 is the L-H7 bulb. This is the easiest to install as it is the same size behind the collar as the factory halogen bulb. You can actually use the same exact socket and electrical connection piece that the factory halogen bulb uses. Once you plug that into the factory socket, you just drop that socket back in, spin it clockwise until it clicks, and that is installed. On a lot of these, you will also need a resistor. This is the Resistor 50. It's a 50 watt 6 ohm resistor. There are 2 wires coming out of the resistor. Those wires are going to connect to the brown wire and the yellow wire. In your car you might have different colors, but typically there is one wire that's brown and then the other wire is a different color. Once you wire this up, you can stick some 3M tape on the other side of it, which is included, and stick it somewhere to the inside of the housing and then reattach the cap. Let's move on to solution number 2. For install type 2 and install type 3, we recommend using the L2-H7 bulb. You'll notice that behind the collar you've got a fan assembly now, so you're not going to be able to use this factory harness and mounting piece. You're going to have to use a different mount for this kind of bulb. So for install type 2 and install type 3, we have 2 different mounts. This is mount number 16, which we're going to cover in the following video. There's another mount that's mount 23. The only difference between the two is that 23 gives you power through the harness with these connectors and gives you these easy to attach leads. This one's a little more difficult to mount though, so in my opinion I like to use adapter 16. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. The first step is to take the collar off of the H7 bulb. You just spin it counterclockwise and pull it off. The second step is to attach this to your mounting adapter. So we're going to put this into adapter 16 right here. I've also made a Sharpie mark where that key is because I want to know where it is up and down. So I stick my finger through the back, and the front is the shallow one and the back is the deep one, just so that you know. Go ahead and put that back on there. Put your finger through the back, make sure it's set really well, and then you're going to drop it in here and give it a clockwise twist. So given that a clockwise twist, we've got to push it a little bit more. You can use a small screwdriver to do this, or like a pick tool like I'm doing. Yep, so nice solid tick that you just heard, and that is installed and ready to go. You can test it by wiggling it. It's not wiggling at all. It's perfect. So when we put this in, our wire should go the same direction as that arrow. So this arrow and this piece right here should be connected by that string. So it's going to go in like this, and then we're going to meet that arrow. See? So we're right where our Sharpie mark is. That is absolutely perfect, what we want. So the second challenge is that we have to hook a decoder to this. So we're going to find the plus mark right there. We're going to connect it to our decoder plus to plus, and that is good to go. We can just tuck in the decoder. This is the L-H7DE. We can tuck that in, but now we've got to figure out how to get power to this thing. So let's talk about power. So as I said before, the one benefit of going with adapter 23 here is that adapter 23 gives you power, but it's really hard to get this to actually mount down here in this hole. So I like to use this adapter 16. So we don't have the luxury of getting power from this, but you have this, these 2 wires right here are very, very long. And so you can actually cut these in a spot where it's long enough to reconnect, like back here somewhere. And then when you do that, you can crimp electrical connectors like these guys directly onto them. We recommend the jacketed ones. And then you can plug that directly into your decoder. So plus and minus right into your decoder. The brown wire is always your ground, and whatever color the other color is your headlight positive wire. So that's how you wire them. But like I said, if you get the adapter 23, you don't have to do that. But adapter 23 is really thin, and it's really hard to get in there and get that turn to where it lines up as good as with adapter 16. So it's kind of preference. I would order both adapter 16 and adapter 23 if you're not sure which way you're going to want to go. But that is pretty much type 2 and type 3. Now let's talk about why I don't recommend L1, L3, and L5 for this. Last thing, why do I recommend the L2? So we recommend the L2 because if you look down in that socket, you can see that the mounting adapter is quite far down there. That's a huge lip, and then there's this other huge lip for the factory socket itself. So that's actually quite deep. If you look at the L2, this actually has an adapter on it. It's for Hyundai Kia, but you can kind of see that there's the mounting plate, and then you have quite a bit of room before you get to the fan. The fan is quite small, and then the wire comes out really far in the back. If you look at like the L5 compared to that, the collar to the fan assembly is not as good. You can see that the fan assembly is much closer to the collar here, and even worse is that wire. So the wire comes out the front side of the fan assembly on the L1, 3, and 5. So these are harder to get in there. You can do it, but there's a good chance you're going to have to file right where this is where the wire is going to be. That's another good benefit of marking these with the Sharpie. That's where the wire is going to be, is down here. So you'd have to probably file down in this direction here so that there's enough room to twist it in and get it mounted for you. So we recommend L2 for options 2 and 3, and the only difference between option 2 and 3 is the mounting adapter that you choose, whether you want to do wiring of your own with adapter 16 or you want the wiring built in with adapter 23. Any additional questions? Call or text 408-623-1380 Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 CST. You may also email support@lucas-lighting.com. Thanks for watching.